What if the past was not merely ancient, but encoded? What if long before telescopes and satellites, human hands carved a working map of the stars into the Earth itself? This is space archaeology, where satellites, quantum AI, and ancient enigmas meet. It sounds like science fiction, but it is very much real. And it's rewriting everything we thought we knew about our ancestors. Space archaeology is the bold new science of using tools in orbit to scan the ground below. From high-resolution satellites to AI-driven drones, we now peer through soil, sand, and stone, uncovering lost cities and forgotten cultures. But in the dry highlands of Peru, the machines have found something stranger. A pattern that should not exist. A message carved across miles of desert, hidden until now. We're talking about the Nazca lines. Massive geoglyphs carved into the Earth's surface, hummingbirds, monkeys, jaguars, and long, perfectly straight paths. They stretch for miles, some of them so vast they can only be fully seen from the sky. For years, people asked why. Why make them so large? Why carve symbols only visible from above? Now, new answers are emerging, because we are finally looking with different eyes. In 2025, a coalition of researchers fed ultra-high-resolution images of the Nazca Plateau into a quantum AI. This wasn't just image recognition, it was pattern analysis beyond human capability. The AI was trained to detect multi-dimensional correlations in terrain and shadow. To see not just shapes, but structures, spatial logic, unseen order. And it found something. When mapped in 3 dimensions, using depth, elevation, and angle, the Nazca lines formed more than artwork. They built a celestial sphere. A dome-like map of nearby stars, mirroring their positions in the real sky, but rendered on the Earth's surface. The lines weren't random. They encoded star systems. Not in flat charts, but in depth, in relation, in harmony. A 3-dimensional sky map embedded in stone. But it didn't stop there. Using subsurface radar and resonance mapping, the researchers discovered something else. Beneath key points in the geoglyphs, where major lines crossed or symbols converged, there were underground anomalies. Not tunnels, not chambers, but nodes of resonance, where the Earth's own magnetic field pulsed slightly differently. These nodes matched no geological pattern. Instead, they matched the frequencies of natural Earth harmonics. And some even corresponded to electromagnetic signals from known pulsars in space. The implication? The Nazca geoglyphs may have been more than art. They might have functioned like a kind of ancient antenna. A harmonic interface between Earth and sky. This aligns with a theory in physics known as the holographic universe, the idea that our 3D world may arise from information stored on a lower dimensional surface. The Nazca patterns, in layout and frequency, reflect this concept uncannily. They don't just show the sky. They simulate it. Then came the deeper surprise. The spacing between certain lines on the plateau matched known celestial cycles. Lunar nodal cycles. Venusian phases. Eclipse intervals. The Nazca lines were tracking time. Like a calendar. Like a giant, open-air observatory tuned to the rhythms of the heavens. But how did these ancient people know? How did they carve messages into the desert that mirror the logic of quantum physics, celestial geometry, and magnetic harmonics? And what if Nazca wasn't alone? When geospatial analysts extended certain long lines outward along the Earth's curvature, they intersected, uncannily, with other ancient sites. Giza. Stonehenge. Easter Island. Angkor Wat. Each along the same global pathways. Each aligning within fractions of a degree. The AI thought otherwise. Next came DNA analysis. Soil beneath the Nazca Plateau held traces of ancient life. Some of it matched the local culture, but some matched peoples across the ocean. Polynesian, Southeast Asian. Cultural contact far earlier than textbooks suggest. If ancient navigators crossed the Pacific, they may have brought their knowledge of the stars. Shared it. Mapped it into the Earth. And so, what we thought were just lines were language. Not spoken. Not written. But encoded in geometry. The conclusion is stunning. The Nazca lines are not primitive art, they are an ancient interface. A resonant system. A message sent between the earth and the sky. Not built by aliens. Not random. But built by human minds, minds that listened. Minds that watched the stars and responded in silence. Not with words. But with lines. With shapes. With patterns that echo across time and space. They may not have had telescopes. But they had the sky. They had the earth. And they had a way of weaving both into meaning. Now, as our machines look deeper, we are finally beginning to hear what they left behind. A code in the dirt. A whisper from the past. Not forgotten. Just waiting. To be decoded. It was only the beginning. What the AI saw in Nazca sparked something larger, something global. An awakening of forgotten signals etched across the earth. Within weeks of the Nazca discovery, similar patterns began emerging elsewhere. Not identical, but resonant. As if multiple ancient cultures had spoken different dialects of the same hidden language. In the dry plains of Jordan, researchers reanalyzed satellite data of the stone circles called the Big Wheels, circular arrangements of rock, spanning hundreds of meters, long dismissed as burial markers. But now, when plotted in three-dimensional space, the wheels were found to trace lunar nodal precession, a complex 18.6-year orbital rhythm of the moon. Thousands of years ago, someone had recorded a cycle we only confirmed in modern astronomy. And they did it with stones, shadows, and silence. Across the ocean, in the American Southwest, ancient petroglyphs once thought to be symbolic or spiritual were scanned using lidar and spectral light. The curves, spirals, and jagged lines, when converted to mathematical functions, matched the frequency distributions of solar activity. Sunspot cycles. Solar flares. Coronal mass ejections. All carved into canyon walls by civilizations with no concept of magnetism, or physics, or fusion. Or so we thought. One by one, pieces began to connect. Quantum eyes began layering datasets across continents. Nazca, Jordan, Chaco Canyon, Göbekli Tepe. The AI wasn't just looking for lines, it was looking for resonance. Geometry that held logic. Distance that implied signal. Pattern that suggested code. And then it saw it. A recursion. A global-scale fractal. One hidden not in art, but in geography itself. The placement of certain ancient monuments, when plotted using quantum entanglement mapping and gravitational topography, formed a distributed array. Like antennas in a vast radio telescope. Each node tuned to subtle fluctuations in Earth's magnetic field. Each aligned with specific points in the sky at solstice or equinox. The Earth wasn't just a home, it was a device. An instrument. And we had only just powered it on. And then came the most shocking data of all. From low Earth orbit, a satellite designed to monitor tectonic stress detected a low-frequency hum, barely perceptible, pulsing from multiple ancient sites simultaneously. A